I came along to one of your webinars, and as a raging introvert, I was absolutely terrified of the thought of having to sell myself to people. And I can remember on that webinar actually asking you a question about whether it was possible to sell myself via email, which I cringe at when I think I asked that question now. But I was honestly that scared of having a conversation with somebody about me, talking to them about me was just terrifying. I kind of feel that I put my personality across better in writing than I do speaking. Writing is much more natural to me. So yeah, I came along to the webinar, could see that you would be able to help me fill the gap in terms of how on earth I was going to find and convince clients to work with me. So I signed up.
Great. And what has changed for you as a result? So, you know, what did change for you after having done the course?
I got clients.
Yay!
Having basically 0 clients. I had clients. By the time the course was finished, I got three new clients, all of whom were signed up on a monthly retainer. And the difference that made to my confidence was absolutely huge. I felt I could breathe a massive sigh of relief. I think the main thing was actually finding the language to talk about what I do in a way that felt really natural and non-pushy. So you said that the way that I introduced myself was really crystal clear. Well, that all came from you, Catherine, as you know. That's all, you know, what I learned on the course and what I've learned from you. I think the other main thing as well that I've learned is that it's actually okay to be myself, and I can sort of relax into having those conversations with people. That I don't need to put on a persona and that kind of sleazy, shiny, salesy thing that I think a lot of us have in our heads. It doesn't need to be like that. And that to me made a massive difference.
And isn't it so much more fun as well when you can be yourself with your clients too? You know,
absolutely. And I think, I found it strangely helpful to be really upfront with them as well. I don't know how you feel about this, but I actually sort of started conversations by telling them that it didn't come naturally to talk about what I do. And that helped me relax in a way. So, yeah.
And that would be the transparency. When I talk about authenticity and transparency in these sales conversations, it's saying something like that if I feel like the best way for you to break the ice. So yeah, I can see that working really well for you. What was the biggest actual result you got from doing the program?
So I think, as I've mentioned already, it's the 3 clients that I signed up before the course had ended covered the cost easily. And I was thinking about this when before we came on the call, and I hadn't realised it, but I've actually had a 100% success rate in terms of the people that I've spoken to actually going on to work with me, which feels slightly
wow.
I know.
That's not entirely normal, Louise. So that means you have never had a conversation with somebody about enrolling you as a VA or productivity mentor who has decided not to go ahead with you?
No.
Wow. Okay. Right, let's swap places. I think you should be teaching the sales here. Wow, that's fantastic. And at the time you joined, what concerns did you have about joining the course?
Okay, so for me, it wasn't about the money, because I knew that I needed to invest. I knew where the gaps were. I was in panic mode, having, about to leave my job, where I was going to get clients. So the money wasn't an issue for me, but the big thing that was holding me back was I was terrified about being expected to join in with things like role play, or being expected to put myself out there in some way that would feel really uncomfortable. And I think that's probably come from all of those hideous training courses that those of us who've worked in corporate jobs, I'm sure, have been subject to. But your approach is so much more sensitive than that. I mean, the fact that you took typed questions during the live Q&A calls, for instance, means that those of us who weren't confident and comfortable to speak up could still get the benefit of your wisdom, and we could all benefit from that. Yeah, and the fact that there's an encouragement to practice with others on the course, but that's not a public thing, that's something that we arrange sort of privately behind the scenes, feels really safe as well. And that was another thing that I was worried about, that there was going to be lots of public practicing, but there wasn't. It was a lot more gentle than that. So yeah.
So it allowed you to go at your own pace and at a level that was comfortable for you.
Absolutely, yeah. And I was reticent about doing the practice work to start with, but took a deep breath, gave it a go, and it was actually one of the most helpful things that I could have done. The feedback that I got was really gentle, really considered, helping me to understand, what I needed to do better. And actually, I signed up another client during my first practice conversation, so it can't have been all that shabby.
I love it when people get, you know, it's fairly common that people get clients from their practice conversations. It's not what the practice conversations are for, but and that is the best feedback of all that you're doing well, isn't it? That the client actually says, not just, I think that was a really good trial run, Louise, but actually, can I give you some money and we'll start work as well?
Yeah, there was a surprising result, but yeah, very welcome.
Brilliant. And it's a year later now. So tell me about your business and where it is now. Like, where have you taken that business in the past year?
Okay, so I'm now pretty much fully booked. I've gone just from sort of having 3 or 4 clients in, I think in November of last year. Now I'm working with around 16 amazing small business owners, all of whom are doing brilliant work that I just adore. So that side of the business is going really, really well. But alongside that now, I've decided to build the productivity mentoring. It's still early days for that, but again, something else that I've got from the course is that I've now got the tools that I need I can work through them again. I can get comfortable in talking about the productivity mentoring side of things and apply all of that knowledge to this different side of my business. So that's what I've been doing lately. My online challenge has run a couple of times, has been really successful. I've worked with a few one-to-one clients as well. So my focus at the moment is to try and reach more people who need help with their productivity. And I'm just about to launch a brand new Facebook group, complete with video introduction, Catherine, which this time last year would have been completely unthinkable. So, so the confidence that I've got from going through this process has been huge.
Yeah, and a lot of people have talked about that, about how it's, as much as anything, it's that being able to know how to speak confidently about your work and actually enroll and sign up clients just gives people so much confidence, and then it has a knock-on effect on other areas of their life as well. Because of course, I didn't teach you about video and Facebook groups and things, but yet it's that, and that's giving you that confidence to go out and do those things. Here's an interesting question for you, because I know you never really know, but where do you think your business would be now if you hadn't done that course a year ago?
I honestly don't think I would have found and signed up clients anything like quickly enough. I'm pretty sure I would have ended up having to work for a VA agency to start with, which would have meant less control over who I was working with, less money coming in, and all of that stuff. So I think it would have been a very, 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 very slow build, and I quite possibly would have just given up, to be honest, if it carried on like that. So, I mean, signing up for the course is single-handedly the best thing I could have done at that time. It just, like we've said already, it just gave me all that confidence. And I think it's also understanding the value as well that you actually bring to people.
Yeah, because the course has you sort of dig deep to identify that, doesn't it? So that you're crystal clear about it.
Yeah. And if I hadn't have done the course, I'm not sure I would have been as crystal clear to be able to confidently sell that to people. Yeah.
And we talked at the very beginning about you being an introvert, and how do you feel that because there's more to the program than just the sales conversation, of course, but how do you feel that the whole thing has helped you to grow your business as an introvert?
I think, I don't want to keep saying the same thing, but I really do think it comes down to the confidence, and it as well as the confidence about talking about confidence in talking about what I do, it's the fact that there's such a strong community sitting alongside the course in the Facebook group. It gives loads of opportunities for one-to-one conversations and one-to-one interactions, what we need. So that access to those people, I wouldn't have had that without the course.
And it's an incredibly safe space, that community, isn't it? Because it attracts heart-centered business owners. People are, you talked about how the feedback you got was very gentle and supportive, and it is a very gentle and supportive group.
Yeah, it really is. It really, really is. People are feel really safe to be vulnerable in there. If they're having a bad day and something's gone well, they can hop in and share, knowing that they're going to get that support and some really constructive suggestions and feedback from the other people in the group. And that's not just from you. Obviously, you're there providing that as well, but there's so many other people in there that are providing that kind of help. Yeah, it's really valuable.
And final question, What would you say to somebody else who is where you were a year ago? They know they need more clients, but they feel that as an introvert, they're not sure that they've really got what it takes to actually have these one-to-one sales conversations with people. What would you say to someone thinking about joining?
So I think if you're starting out and as anxious as I was about signing up new clients and about actually speaking to human beings in person, just sign up for the course. I think it's really easy to put yourself in this box of what you think you're capable of doing. But it's good to challenge that sometimes. And like we've already said, this course is so gentle and supportive. It's just the perfect place to practice and to step outside of what you think you're capable of and surprise yourself. The course is going to teach you how to talk about your business in a way that feels natural. Like we've said already, it will help you to understand the value that you bring to people. But it's that community, I think, as well, that you just won't get somewhere else. And I wouldn't be where I am without it.
Thank you, Louise, and thank you for giving up some of your time to come and share a bit about your journey in business, and like congratulations to you too on being fully booked within a year of business, because it's a huge achievement. It really is. So well done.
Oh, thank you, Catherine, and thank you for all of your support.
You're very welcome. And yeah, so we'll wrap up there. So yeah, thank you so much, and have a lovely evening, and have a lovely evening those of you that are listening. Bye bye.
Thanks, Catherine.